Best, man. You're the best, no doubt. But what a great day. I mean, this is always a fun day, and obviously not a lot of drama today because 15 guys signed in December. So this has been I mean, I love the early signing period. I think the guys who went through it certainly did as well. Obviously, we had 9 mid-years come in, but going out on the road, the guys, the 6 that signed in December that aren't coming till the summer, it was just a better experience, I think, for everybody in this month of January. So, but a great day. As I said to the crowd downstairs, always fun when a young man chooses to come to Clemson. Because you lay your program out there, you talk about the vision of your program, what your common purpose is, what your core values are, what you're all about, how you do things, and we're very transparent in this whole process. I don't want to have to de-recruit anybody. I want to be genuine and authentic, and I want guys to come because this is what they truly want to be a part of. And so it's always a blessing when you see a group of young men choose to come. Last year we signed 14, which was a small class, and this year we signed 17, which is a small class. So next year will be the very first time in probably 3 years that we'll sign a full 25, and I'm excited about doing that. We're very disciplined in how we recruit here. We just are, and we manage the number. We're very strict in that, and sometimes we might have a couple left over that we can reward some guys on the team that are deserving, but we're always looking ahead. We're always looking at what's out there and what's next and how we want to put it all together so that you have the right type of chemistry, morale, numbers at each position, and so forth. I mean, it's a never-ending task. But this class, I'm so appreciative of the job our staff did. We came into the season, thinking we'd sign probably 12. That's really kind of what we thought we'd be. We ended up being able to sign 17, and really that's only because we had a few guys decide to leave early, and we have a few that are going to graduate and, from a football standpoint, want to play their last year somewhere else. And so, that opened up a couple opportunities to bring in a few other guys. So just really, really excited about these guys. I don't ever get caught up in guys who don't come because, for me personally, I always just pray that God's will be done. So when a guy don't come, I'm like, hey, that's just not supposed to be that way, and I keep moving. And that's just how I handle it. And so I'm thankful for the opportunities that we had to recruit a lot of great young people. And even those who maybe didn't choose Clemson, it's neat to develop new relationships and meet new people and guys that I can pull for, even though they're not here, I can root for them because, man, I met a lot of great folks in this process. And so proud of our program, and again, appreciate the parents for believing in the vision of our program. And we're excited to welcome them all to the Clemson family. This is our 8th top 15 class in a row. So we've become incredibly consistent. I don't really get too caught up in all the ranking stuff because we've never had a #1 recruiting class, but yet we're the 2nd winningest team in the country over the last 7-8 years. So I don't really get too caught up in all that stuff. I'm much more caught up into the development of our players and just how we go about our business here. And but on paper anyway, this is our 8th top 15 class in a row. And again, we've become very consistent on the field, very consistent in the classroom, and in recruiting. And I don't have any doubt that this group will be special. Probably on paper, and again, you don't play the game on paper and all that, but on paper, this is probably the most complete class that I've signed since I've been the head coach. As far as just the young men walking in this building, and 9 of them already here. This is a very special group, and I've always been one. I think you should go and rank the recruiting classes 4 years later. To me, that's the way you should rank them because I've had so many guys. I've had guys that were 5 stars that wouldn't have been 5 stars when they left college. I've had guys that were 2 stars coming in that would have been 6 stars when they left college. So that's just kind of how I've always looked at it, because then it's based on performance and graduation and those type of things. But on paper, I think this is a incredible class and very complete. 4 years in a row, we've graduated the winningest senior class in Clemson history. Just wrap your mind around that. This senior group has won 50 games. They're walking out the door. So it's important that you know, to me, remember how you got here, and that's focusing on the right things. And so for us, it's people first, player second. And so, you know, recruiting championship caliber people that just happen to be championship caliber players. That's how we go about our business here. And man, I'm just really proud of our staff and the job that they did in bringing this great group of players together. So we've got 15 guys again that signed in December, and then added 2 more signees today, added 3 preferred walk-ons, which is another very important part of our program. It's critical. You know, we're very specific in how we manage that as well. But 17 guys signed overall, and then again the 3 walk-ons. Most of them committed early, and most of them signed in December. So I think, again, we met all of our critical needs. Plus we got some other guys that I think, you know, will fill in some spots, some guys that are on this team that just haven't had quite the opportunity yet, that I'm excited about, you know, getting on the field with this spring. So looking ahead, we've got a very talented team coming back this time last year. Lots of question marks and not a lot of experience from a senior standpoint. This will be a senior junior-led team, and so will next year. Our next 2 teams are going to be senior junior-led teams. A lot of seniors, a lot of juniors, and a good group of sophomores to go work with this spring. And so with the addition of this class, I think we can continue to have the type of talent and competitive depth that it takes to be an elite team. I mean, it's just that simple. So I think that we've got the makings of that. And again, the 9 mid-years, that's big. That's big for us to have these guys. In fact, out of our whole roster, we usually have 120 on the roster. Only 11 guys aren't going to be with us this spring. So what an opportunity for us as a coaching staff to really develop our team this spring. Probably tweak a couple things on our practice schedule just a little bit, just because, you know, we got a lot of guys we got to get reps and take advantage of these 15 practices that we got coming up, and the scrimmage work as well. So excited about that. As far as the breakdown, we signed 2 offensive linemen. You know, hit it out of the park. Just two great ones. 2 great ones. And again, very disciplined. Our number in the offensive line is 15. That's kind of what we try to work off of. We're at 14 coming into the season, but we're over at the D-line. So you can't be over everywhere. If you're over somewhere, you got to be under somewhere. And but I'm really like the makeup of our 14 that we have. And you know, I know that we'll have another great group coming in here next year. We signed 1 tight end. We were looking for a guy that had length, athleticism. We were looking for a guy a little bit like Leggett that we felt like we could develop into a great 3-back, and obviously found Braden Galloway right down the road. We think he's going to be a special player. This is a big-time basketball player that just kind of, like a lot of these tight ends, they decide they want to play some football, you know, once he realizes he's not a point guard. And he all of a sudden his opportunities changed. And so this will be a 260-pound kid when it's all said and done. So I'm excited about him. Unfortunately, he's not going to be able to go through spring yet. He's got to have a screw put in his toe, so he won't be able to go through the spring. But he'll be in the meetings and be able to start mentally, you know, and he can still be in that weight room working and developing. So big spring for him. We signed 1 quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. He was the top guy that we identified, #1 guy in the country, and been committed since forever ago. And he's here, and can't wait to get started with him. 2 wideouts, the top 2 that we targeted, we got. #1 player in this state and the #1 player in the state of Alabama, which is also a first in my career. And so just really excited about that. We signed 1 running back. I was telling the crowd down there earlier, Tony Elliott, there's not a more stingy guy in our building with an offer than Tony Elliott. He is stingy when it comes to offering running backs, because he wants, as I said earlier, he wants the right type of people to be in his room. He takes a lot of pride in his room and who he's with every single day. And Lynn Jay's a guy he identified early, and we're really thankful that it all worked out for him to be a Tiger, and think he's got an incredibly bright future. Defensively, we signed 9 guys. We signed 5 defensive linemen. You'd be hard-pressed to find 5 better in the country. Three of the best young defensive ends I've ever been around, and 2 of the best defensive tackles. Justin Maskell and KJ and Xavier Thomas. These guys are going to be fun to coach. And so 4 of them are already here. Josh Belk, not many people knew about Josh Belk, and I think he went out to the Army game with all the big boys, and they figured out who he was pretty quick. And then Darnell Jeffries looks like he's 35. You know, it looks like it's unbelievable. I mean, it's hard to believe that this is a young high school senior going through spring ball. I mean, just physically how developed these D linemen are. But that's where championship football starts, is in the trenches, and we certainly were able to do that. Obviously, Jordan McFadden, the offensive lineman from Dorman, to get him, and then Jackson Carmen, the #1 offensive lineman in the country, #1 player in the state of Ohio, to go along with these 5 D linemen. It's pretty special group in the trenches there. And then we signed 2 DBs. Kyler McMichael is the epitome of dynamic. He could be a Division I running back or Division I DB, and he wants to play corner, and man, he's going to be a great one. This kid is physically developed. He's fast. He's physical. He's very smart. His dad was a college player, and I just think he has such a bright future. And then to be able to go out to Missouri and get Mario Goodrich just speaks to the reach of our brand. You know, Brent, Mike did a great job in identifying him, and really enjoyed my trip out there to his high school, Lee Summit West. And this kid is long. He's got everything you could possibly want to come in here and play in our secondary. And just a great family, high character, great student, excellent fit for our program. First signee from Missouri ever in our program. So, you know, our program's always kind of built from inside out, but to be able to reach out when we need to fill a need is pretty special. There's not a lot of programs that can do that, and just appreciate our guys and doing an awesome job and making it easy for me when I get there. And then got 2 linebackers, been committed forever, offered them early. Obviously, y'all know Jake Venables, very familiar with him. Jake is a knockoff from his dad. You know, he's a you know, rolling ball of butcher, you know, blades. I mean, he's just a fast, tough, physical, instinctive, smart football player that has literally just lives and breathes it. You know, I mean, he is an unbelievably committed guy. It's very seldom that he's not working out at 5:30 in the morning. He'd work out all season at 5:30 in the morning, then go play football, have football practice in the afternoons. He's just, for a young guy to be as driven and motivated as he is, that's going to separate him as he matures in his career. And then Mike Jones is a kid that grew. This is our youth camp paying off. All right, this is a kid that has been coming to youth camp his whole life, and then all of a sudden he became a high school kid, and his dad played 10 years in the pros and played at NC State. And this kid came up to me in the 10th grade and said, "I'm coming to Clemson." I tried to talk him out of it because, you know, I'm not, y'all that follow our program, you know, I'm not much for you know, playing the game of recruiting. You know, here's what commitment means. And, man, he's been committed. First commitment in this class, led the way, and an awesome prospect. Played a lot of safety, and kind of grew down into the box, and I think it's going to be an outstanding player for us as he goes through. So that's our group. We had 8 states, and again, 6 out of those 8 states, the #1 player in the state, I think speaks again to the strength of our brand and the job that our coaches and our support staff do in being able to promote Clemson. So just awesome. Very thankful and appreciative for the tremendous effort that goes into putting this class together. You know, Street does an awesome job in kind of coordinating everything from the coach's standpoint, and then, you know, Thad and Jordan Sorrells and Ty Clements and that whole crew, our graphics area. I mean, it is an enormous undertaking, enormous. And to be able to have everybody on the same page is even harder. But that's what we have here, and that's what resonates with people. So just appreciate the job that our staff has done, and same thing with our administration. I mean, we obviously have the resources to compete at the highest level. There's not a better president in the country than President Clements. This guy is here. He will come at any time and talk to one of our recruits, come over and eat lunch, get on the phone with somebody. He is incredibly involved, and I'm very thankful for that because he's great. Dan Radakovich is the same way. Just again, easy to see the alignment, and I think that's the difference from some places. There's a great alignment here, and everybody being on the same page. So I just appreciate everyone. My coaches make it easy for me. You know, I like to say they hit the 90-mile-an-hour fastball and the curveball's breaking across the plate, and I get to walk in and you know, they underhand toss it to me, and I get to swing for the fences. They make my job easy. They really do. And so I'm very appreciative of our staff and our wives and everyone that just does everything they can to help us be the best we can be. So we're ready to get started on this 2018 team, and we've already started on our 2019 class. It's going to be a great class. We got a lot of great young people identified, and look forward to that process. It never ends. Again, it'll be a full 25, but for us right now, as Tim said, we're going to have a team meeting here in just a little bit. We've got a lot of quality control going on right now with our staff and our support staff in studying and trying to figure out how we can all get better, because that's what we're trying to do. You know, we all want to get better and continue to grow and mature and be the best version of whatever role we have. That's the challenge that I have for this staff and everybody in this building. Everybody's got to get a little bit better. And so we're going to work hard at that, and then we're going to ask the same thing from our players. Next Wednesday, we'll start our all-in drills, which is an awesome opportunity for us to really kind of instill some of the core values that you have to have in a championship program. And then spring ball is going to start for us on the 28th. So 3 weeks from today will be practice 1, February the 28th. So spring's coming early here in Clemson and chomping at the bit to get on the field. Spring game is April 14th. So hopefully we can have a huge crowd to come and see these guys, for the first time, a lot of them. So with that, I'll just again say thank you to all of y'all for coming and supporting us today and covering the Tigers. Any questions?
You got it great.